Besides, we cannot go after the other woman whom we should marry in due course, but for the way in which she treats us. Then Telemachus said, Eurymachus, and you other suitors, I shall say no more and entreat you no further, for the gods and other people of Ithaca now know my story. Give me then a ship and a crew of 20 men to take me hither and thither, and I will smart in Pylos, and I question my father who has long been missing. Someone will tell me something, or another people, often hearing things in this way. Some heaven sent message may direct me. If I can hear him as alive, and I will go my own way, I will go home. I will put up the ways of your suitors, and I will make yet another 12 months. But on the other hand, I hear of his death, I will return at once, celebrate history nor race, but all do palm, go there to his memory, and make my mother marry again. With these words he sat down, and Mentor, who had been a friend of Odysseus, had been left in charge of everything of all authority over his servants, were to speak. He then plainly and honestly addressed them thus: Hear me, men of Ithaca. I hope that you may never have a kind and well-disposed ruler any more, nor one who will govern you equitably. I hope that all your chiefs henceforward may be cruel and unjust, for there is not one of you but has forgotten Odysseus, who ruled you as though he were your father. I am not half so angry with the suitors, for if they chose to do violence in the naughtiness of their hearts and wager their heads that Odysseus will not return, they can take a high hand and eat up his estate. But as for you, others, I am shocked at the way in which you sit still, without even trying to stop such scandalous goings-ons, which you could do if you choose, for you are many and they are few. Leocritus, the son of Evenor, answered him, saying, Mentor, were follies all this that you should set up people to stay us. It is a hard thing for one man to fight with many without his victuals, even though Odysseus himself were set upon us while we are feasting in his house, and do his best to oust us. His wife, who wants him back so very badly, would have small cause for rejoicing, in his blood would be upon his own head if he fought against such great odds. There is no sense in what you have been saying. Now therefore do your people go about your business, and let his fathers or friends Mentor and Halitherus speed his boy on his journey, if he goes at all, which I do not think he will, for he is more likely to stay where he is if someone comes and tells him something. On this he broke up the assembly, and every man went back to his own abode, while the suitors returned to the house of Odysseus, and Telemachus went all alone by the seaside, and washed his hands in the great waves, and prayed to Athena. Hear me, he cried, you god who visited me yesterday, who bade me sail the seas in search of my father, who has so long been missing. I would obey you, but Phrygians, and more particularly the wicked suitors, are hindering me that I cannot do so. As he thus prayed, Athena came close up to him in the likeness and with the voice of Mentor. Telemachus, she said, if you are made of the same stuff as your father, you will be neither fool nor coward henceforward, for Odysseus never broke his word nor left his work half done. If then you take after him, your voice will not be fruitless, but unless you have the blood of Odysseus and of Penelope in your veins, I see no likelihood of you succeeding. Sons are seldom as good men are their fathers, they are generally worse, not better. Still, as you are not going to be neither fool nor coward henceforward, you are not entirely without some share of your father's wise discernment. I look with hope upon your undertaking, but mind you never make common cause of any of those foolish suitors, for they have neither sense nor virtue, and go no thought. The death and doom that will shortly fall on one and all of them, so that they shall perish on the same day. As for your voyage, it shall be long delayed. Your father was such an old friend of mine that I will find you a ship, and will come with you myself. Now, however, return home, go about among the suitors, begin getting provisions ready for your voyage. See everything well stowed, the wine jars, the barley meal, which is the staff of life, and leathern bags, while I go round the town and beat up volunteers at once. There are many ships in Ithaca, both old and new. I will run my eye over them for you, and will choose the best. We will get her ready, and will put out to sea without delay. Thus spoke Athena, daughter of Zeus, and Telemachus lost no time in doing as the goddess told him. He went moodily home and found the suitors playing goats and singing pigs in the outer court. Antinous came up to him at once and laughed as he took his hand in his own, saying, Telemachus, my fine fire eater, bear no more ill blood, neither in word nor in deed, but eat and drink with us as you used to do. The Phrygians will find you in everything, a ship and a picked crew to boot, so that you can set sail for Pylos at once and get news of your noble father. Antinous answered Telemachus, I cannot eat in peace nor take pleasure of any kind of such men as you are. Was it not enough that you would waste so much good property of mine while I was yet away? Now that I am older and know more about it, I was also stronger and better here among this people, or by going to Pylos. I will do you all the harm I can. I shall go, and my going will not be in vain, though thanks to you suitors I have neither ship nor crew of my own, and must be passenger, not captain. As he spoke, he snatched his hand from that of Antinous. Meanwhile, the others went on getting dinner ready about the buildings, jeering at him tauntingly as they did so. Telemachus, said one youngster, means to be the death of us. I suppose he thinks he can bring friends to help him from Pylos, or again from Sparta, where he seems bent on going. Or will he go to Ephyria as well? Will poison to put in our wine can kill us? Another said, perhaps if Telemachus goes on board, he will be like his father, and perish far from his friends. In this case, we should have plenty to do, for we could then divide up his property amongst us. As for the house, we can let his mother and the man who marries her have that. This was how they talked. Telemachus went down into the lofty and spacious storeroom where his father's treasure of gold and bronze lay heaped on the floor, and with the linen and spare clothes kept in his open chest. Here too, there was a store of fragrant olive oil, while casks of old, well-ripened old wine, unblended and fit for a god to drink, where it ranged against the wall in case of Odysseus should come home again after all. The room was closed with a well-made doors open in the middle. Moreover, the faithful old housekeeper, Euryclea, daughter of Ops, the son of Pisanor, was in charge of everything both night and day. Telemachus called her to the storeroom and said, Nurse, draw me off some of the best wine you have. After that you are keeping for my father's own drinking, in case poor man, he should escape death and find his way home again after all. Let me have 12 jars, and see that they all have lids. Also fill me some well-soon leaden bags of barley meal, about 20 measures in all. Get these things put together at once and say nothing about it. I will take everything away this evening, as soon as my mother has gone upstairs for the night. I am going to Sparta and to Pylos to see if I can hear anything about the return of my dear father. When Euryclea heard this, she began to cry, and spoke fondly of him, saying, My dear child, whatever have you put such notion as that into your head? Where in the world do you want to go? You who are the one hope of the house. Your poor father is dead, and gone in some foreign country nobody knows where. And as soon as your back is turned, these wicked ones here will be scheming to get you out of the way. Go share all the possessions among themselves, stay where you are, and then people do not come wondering one for your life of your parent origin. Fear not, nurse, answered Telemachus. My scheme is not without heaven's sanction, but I swear that you will say nothing about all this to my mother, till I have been away some 10 or 12 days, unless she hears of my having gone, and asks you, for I do not want her to spoil her beauty by crying. Following this form of solemnity that she would not, and when she had completed her, she began drawing out the wine to the jars and getting the barley and meal bags, and while Telemachus went back to the suitors. Then Athena bethought her of another matter. She took his shape, and went around the town to reach one of the crew, telling them to meet at the ship by sundown. She went also to Noemon, son of Boreanus, and asked him to let her have a ship, which she was very ready to do so. When the sun had set and darkness was all over the land, she got the ship into the water, and put a tackle on board. The ships generally carrying stationed her at the end of the harbor. Presently the crew came up, and the goddess spoke encouragingly to each of them. Furthermore, she went to the house of Odysseus, and threw the suitors into a deep slumber. She caused their drink to fuddle them, and made them drop their cups from their hands, so that instead of sipping over their wine, They went back into town to sleep, with their eyes heavy and full of drowsiness. Then she took the form of the voice of Mentor, and called Telemachus to come outside. Telemachus, said she, the men are on board, at their oars, waiting for you to give your orders, so make haste, and let us be off. On this she led the way, while Telemachus followed in her steps. While they got to the ship, they found the crew waiting by the water side, and Telemachus said, "Now my men, help me to get the stores on board. They are all together in the cloister. My mother does not know anything about it, nor any of the maidservants except one." With his words, he had led away, and others followed after. When they had brought the things as he told them, Telemachus went on board, Athena going before him and taking the seats in the stern of the vessel, while Telemachus sat beside her. Then the men loosed their hawsers and took their places on the benches. Athena then went a fair wind from the west, and whistled over the deep blue waves, whereon Telemachus told them to catch forward of the ropes and hoist the sail. They did as he told them. They set the mast and stopping the cross plank, raised it and made it fast with the forestays. Then they hoisted their white sails aloft the ropes out, twisted offside. As the sail bellied out to the wind, the ship flew through the deep blue water. The foam hissed against her bows, and she sped onward. Then they all made fast throughout the ship, filled the mixing bowls to the brim, and made the drink offerings of the mortal gods that are from the everlasting, the more particularly to the grey-eyed daughter of Zeus. Thus then the ship sped on her way through the watches of the night from dark to dawn.